Hello YouTubers, hello everyone outside of YouTube listening, welcome, and today we're going to talk about Tesla. So Tesla's earnings are coming out tonight after the market opens, and there's been a lot of talk on the community chats, there's been a lot of talk on the likes of the Discord channel about it, and we're going to have a look into and see what we expect to happen next on Tesla. Where are the places we should get in? If the earnings is good, do we think this is worth jumping in on, or have we missed the boat already? So they're all the questions that we're going to discuss today. But remember, if you like this video and you like the content, make sure you click on like and subscribe. And if you have any questions on this, make sure and pop them in the chat group, and I will reply to them. Or if you're on YouTube, click on the chat area, and I will reply to any questions that you have. So first and foremost, let's have a look at the technicals. So if we have a look in, we can see here that Tesla is having this forward momentum. So we're having this nice slow forward momentum. So we have a phase 1, phase 2, phase 1, phase 2, phase 1, phase 2, and we have had this pretty big sort of phase 1. But what we've seen here is from the beginning of October, it is sort of taken off. It's had a pretty big movement over since the beginning of October. It's gone from $770 up to a high of 77. So I've moved $100. So that's something to be aware of. Now, a couple little things we're just going to pop in here is we're going to do some analysis on this. We're going to stick in a trend line. And we have here a trend line to tell us that this is the most recent area that this keeps bouncing. Okay, so this is the most recent area this keeps bouncing. Touch went up, touch went up, touch went up, touch went up. And now we're looking for it to come back here. So logically enough, we are looking for it to come back to there. So that's the next area I sort of would be looking to trade. So that's the first indication to me that this at the moment is a little overextended. But if we have a look at it historically and zoom out, we can see that Tesla has had this massive bullish run since the armored car, so which was down around here at about the $46, was it down around here on this sideways momentum, and then it just took off. So remember, we had an 18 months of sideways momentum here, and then it took off, and it's just blown up. Now with the fuel crisis gone on, we should have a bigger pickup on the likes of electrical cars and things like that over the next quarter, and maybe even the next 2 quarters. So expect this to continue growing over the next couple of quarters. But what we have to do is we have to look into it sort of now. But one of the things that I've also noticed there is we have a huge horizontal level. So if we look at this here, we have a horizontal here, and then there's another one up here. So we're almost hitting that ceiling. So if I zoom in and have a look, I can see that we're almost hitting that ceiling. We're getting very close to it. And delete. And we can see here that we've got very, very close to it. So let's see how today's bar runs. So there's today's bar. It's literally just started. Yesterday went up higher and then finished a selling day. So let's see if we're going to go up and touch the ceiling. Now, a couple of things to know. So again, the earnings is coming out today after hours. So if I pull up here the bottom on this, I'm on trading view at the moment, and we have a look. So if we have a look at Q3 2020, so down here in the bottom right, so Q3 2020, the earnings per share was 56. Okay, so the earnings per share was 56, and the actual earnings per share was 76. Okay, so we actually had 76. So I mean, that's a 36% jump on growth. Now, if we have a look at this year's earnings, we're looking at it, estimated earnings are about 162. Okay, they're about 162, give or take, anywhere around 150 to 160. That's where the estimated earnings are sort of coming in, and we'll see whether the earnings are better or worse than expected. So Tesla had an actual pretty decent level down here. So anyone who was in the likes of the Discord group, some of you guys took that there. At the time, I said it was very aggressive, which it was, but anyone that took that there, you were absolutely laughing now, and you're massively up on this particular trade. Now, a couple of other things to be aware of on this. Technically, we have a sort of a small horizontal level there. Okay, see the ceiling, and that would add to this sort of area. So personally, I am looking for this. Personally, I'm looking for this to hit its ceiling, come back down, and then give us a nice entry to buy. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for now. But again, I have to wait for the earnings to come up, because this could hit its ceiling and then actually come the whole way back down to here. It could break and retest. Okay, so that is another thing that may happen. We may get from the beginning of this phase one, it may go up and then drop down to there. So that may happen either. So they're the two scenarios that I'm looking at, and they're my two next entries, one here and then one here. Depending on what happens with this earnings, it will differentiate which of these entries I would be looking to take. Now, another little thing to be aware of is sort of the fundamentals. So one of the things we can do before the news announcements of coming out, and also just to be aware. So we've had a pretty big run in the beginning of this month. So we're expecting the earnings to be good. So see this here? So we're expecting the earnings to be good. Now, this is before the fact has happened. So it means then that there is the movement has probably already happened. So it means then that unless Tesla's earnings are 20 or 30% better than the estimates, I expect it to potentially drop off this. This was what I would, if I was taking an educated guess, I'd expect it to drop from this area. Why? Because this movement has already gone. People have already jumped in anticipation. And where they've got this from is by doing a quick Google search. By doing a quick Google search, what is Tesla's expected earnings? Okay, by literally popping that in. This was actually put up there today, but there was loads of articles this was put up yesterday, but loads of articles a couple of days, even a couple of weeks beforehand. And one of the big things that Tesla announced is that they have supplied more cars. So if we look here, there's 241,000 vehicles that were sent out, which is a 20% more year-on-year increase. Now, we've seen this momentum already move, so that increase is already priced in. That's a 73%, despite what's been going on with logistics, what's been going on with the Shanghai factory, with what's going on with the likes of the chip manufacturers. Okay, so it's been doing pretty well. Now, Forbes and the guys who have wrote this are expecting their earnings to be slightly higher. So they're expecting to bring in about 13.6 billion, whereas the consensus is expecting about 13.5 billion, so slightly higher. Now, again, that would be a 50% increase from last year's revenue. And it'd be, so it's, just make sure you understand that this information is already out there. It's already factored in. So people have already jumped on this bandwagon. Okay. People have already jumped in the bandwagon. They've already jumped in this. So for me, is this a little overpriced at the minute? Yes. Am I expecting to hit its head? Yes. If it drops down, will I jump in on it? Absolutely, because again, it's expected to be profitable. It's expected to be doing well. You also have crypto, which has also done well at the present moment. So their investment in Bitcoin should continue to grow. So if we look at Yahoo Finance, popped in Yahoo Finance, Tesla, brought it up here, and then go to the financials. We can have a quick look at what's been going on. So total revenue, so that's one of the ones that we sort of have a look at. And the idea is to pick out whether a company is doing well, is whether the revenue is growing year on year. So we have 11, 21, 24, 31, and then 41. So we can see that revenue is growing year on year. And some years are a bigger jump. So between 18 and 19, look, we only had a small jump. But if we look at 19 to 20, we've had a pretty big jump. And again, if we're looking at the trailing 12 months, so TTM stands for trailing 12 months, we're at actually 41 million. So that's something that is quite positive. So if we have a look at the net income, so we can see it here. So minus 1.9, minus 900, minus 800, plus 600, and now look, 2,100. Okay, so that's the big difference there. That's the huge difference there on what's going on there. It's slowly starting to turn the corner. Tesla is starting to become profitable. Now the question is that already priced in? Is that something that as traders we're looking at, or are we looking to jump in on the actual asset itself? So there's a couple of things going on here. Okay, so total cash, as we can see here, the total cash has also grown, and which is brilliant, and that's what we're looking for. Total assets, again, as you can see, they're growing here. And if we go down here to total liabilities, they're also growing. But again, it's assets outweigh the liabilities, okay, which is pretty good. Now, if we go down to total liabilities, they're absolutely on point, okay. Total assets, total liabilities, they're the same. But again, the idea is that Tesla is starting to become a much healthier prospect. It's not one of these companies anymore that people can go, well, Tesla is not making money. It is starting to make money. We're starting to see this adjustment. We're starting to see this run. Okay, so this is one of the things that we should note when we're taking the likes of this. But at the present moment, if it hits this ceiling, unless earnings are about 20 to 30% bigger, I would expect to see some sort of drop at this level, and then it'd be something that I would be interested in. Or if it runs and it breaks through there, because as a trader, I only have a 52% success rate with my trades, so which means then that I am wrong half of the time. So that means if it breaks through here and then comes back to this area, this will be the next point that I am looking to buy. And for you guys who have been trading with me for a while, here is some of the trades that I already have on the likes of Tesla, where they are, how profitable they are. So as we can see here, I already have some positions on Tesla. If we click on this, we can see here that I have one position that's up 700%. I have another position that's up 21%. Okay, so the idea is now to scale into this position and actually start building a position on Tesla as it starts to become profitable. And do I think this will continue growing? Absolutely, but I would like to see some sort of pullback, whether it's to here, or even again, if it comes down to here, this will be a brilliant point to actually jump in again. So if you liked what you've heard today, just make sure you click, make sure you subscribe, and if you want me to go through any particular stocks, either jump into the Discord channel and then let me know and I can actually chat to you directly about it, or put it in the little chat area and I will go through it next week. Thanks very much, everyone. Bye bye.